Welcome to the Cyberculture Café series by Cyber Talks, presented by eSentire. I'm Andy Laguna, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, John Moretti. Together, we're excited to introduce you to some fascinating members of the eSentire family. In this series, you'll get to know their story, the challenges, their successes, how they got here, what motivates and drives them to deliver the best service experience in the industry. This is Cyberculture Café. Welcome to another episode of the Cyberculture Café podcast, where John and Andy will introduce you to another fascinating member of the eSentire family. Welcome, Ryan, to the podcast. Please give us a brief introduction of where you are within the company now and your current roles and responsibilities, and we'll start from there.
Yeah, no, great. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Ryan Harp. I have been with eSentire for going to be 10 years in about 2.5 weeks.
Congratulations.
2.5 weeks, 10 years. Woo.
Yeah, long time. Come from a networking background, SIM background, so security information event management systems, and really got here because of personal relationships, really, knowing someone that worked here before me and, recruited me. Never thought about leaving the place I was at until having a conversation with Derek Thomas, who hopefully
it's Derek's fault.
Yeah. As long as I'm in front of him and on this on the podcast, then I'm happy. So, but Derek and I have known each other for probably 15 years, and he just kind of said, I'm starting at this new place. It's great. You should come over. They need people. And, the rest is kind of history. They at the time, the hiring manager offered me on the phone the first interview. It's kind of just like, we'll do this for you. And I was like, like I said, wasn't looking to leave where I was at. I was in a good spot. I was working in higher education. I was the only security guy in a university that had 29,000 students a semester.
Wow.
So, but that was early security days, right? Like you gotta back to those times, right? It's like, it was interesting. So
different times for sure.
Absolutely different times. Walked away from a pension.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the school systems, you got like a pension. You left it all. Look at you. Fortune and glory, my man.
Yeah, right?
Way to go.
Hey, let's go work at a startup and not know how it's going to work, right? So.
Yeah. But
they made you an offer you couldn't refuse then.
I was just going to say that. They made you an offer you could not refuse. Yeah.
It really blew my mind when they actually made that offer, because I was like, well, I didn't even know this was possible,
Yeah, that's awesome.
You're in an education isn't really the highest pay. It's very stable and a good gig, but yeah, no, it was interesting. And so I came on board, and, I think Derek and I ran the log team for a good 4 or 5 years before Derek moved over to tactical threat and, detection engineering and stuff. And I kind of took over the team after that, and here we are. So it's been a long road. I mean, we've seen the good, the bad, right? I think we've all kind of seen everything. I really enjoy it here, though, and I wouldn't have stayed this long if it wasn't for the people. I know you guys, are making a point to talk about the people here.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, to me, that is the number one reason why I'm still here.
Your job, this is my point of view from it, because I've played with Splunk before in the past, and I went through all that funky stuff when I first got into security. I worked on QRadar before, right? And I got to tell you, that shit ain't fun, bro, at all. No. Log stuff's not fun at all.
It takes takes a special kind to live that long.
100%. It's not like, if I thought about anything to do in security, I think, let me look at logs all day. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, no,
I get that for sure. It has to be something amazing that keeps you here, right? And I can see what you're saying with the people. It's got to be. You started. You were in higher education and you were doing security. So you were doing different things there, not just log stuff. You were doing all of security stuff, right? So what made you say, you know what, let me focus on this. I have an interest in the log stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I took a couple of SANS courses back in the day, back when they weren't, $8,000 or whatever they are now.
Yeah.
When
Right.
they were affordable.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, those really opened my eyes. I did I did a couple of CTFs with capture the flag events in SANS, where I took second place in one of them in Vegas, and
Oh, cool.
or third place. I think it was third place. I don't want to overstate my goodness here,
Right.
but I was on the leaderboard, right? Up
That's
there.
cool. That's awesome. That's an accomplishment.
Honestly, the two people in front of me on that leaderboard are guys that are well known in the security industry. Guys that kind of started that area, and so I was really proud of myself, and I was like, wow, I can really do some of this stuff, and that kind of got me to thinking I wanted to do it. I talked to my manager at the time. I was doing network engineering at that point at the college, so I was basically programming switchers and routers and things like that, and yeah, I mean, it just kind of became, we do need a security person, and that kind of flowed into it, and then SIM was the natural progression. Everybody at that time was, got to have a SIM. You got to have a SIM.
You got to bring them in.
Kind of flowed into it.
The logs in. Yep.
Yeah.
So what caught what do you think caught your attention there? If you were to look back at that now and think,
it was. I mean, at the time, it was pen testing, which I think every budding security person wants to get into offensive security. I find that is very, very true. They don't really realize that it's not all like James Bondy hacking the Gibson type stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there, and let's be frank, there's some guys on this team that are amazing at that sort of stuff, right? J.R. Dupree is one of the best security people I've met on that in the offensive realm. Derek Thomas, all these guys are really good. It just made me think like, this is really, really cool. And then when you get into it, you realize you're not hacking the Gibson, and you're not zero cool in hackers.
You're not like James Bond.
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't work out like that. But the natural progression kind of led me to enterprise defense type stuff and learning SIM, and here we are, right? So, it was great.
I do talk about, when we talk about our MDR services and different components, and we talk about log, and I always mention it, like, we're not just logging sources for customers. It's those proprietary runbooks that truly make the difference, because that's what alerts the SOC to say, hey, I saw this, even with the log. And I always use the story like, look, logs are great. They give you a lot of information about the threats, things that you're seeing, but there's no response action technically with the log. I can't isolate a host with the log. I can't block malicious IP traffic, but I can learn more about what I'm dealing with. And I think what's unique with us is those proprietary runbooks. And I talk to partners, on the partner side, and Andy, when he talks to customers, saying, we're not just logging it for you. We're also tying those proprietary runbooks. And that's what makes the difference. And it makes us be near real time with a log source, which is incredible to do. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, and you got to be, if you can, totally honest.
Okay.
How do you feel? Steady. Right. How do you feel about the unlimited log stuff coming up? Is it going to be like,
you had to go there?
I do. I got to find out. Like, is it like, oh no, is it going to be a nightmare, or is it something I want to do because we're going to have these particular log sources that they're going to rotate, and that's going to be unlimited? Like, how's it going to work? And how do you feel about it?
Well, I think for us, I mean, for my team specifically, I think it will eventually be a good thing, because we can be very prescriptive with what we bring in, right? Log has always been send us everything and we'll sort it out. Well, I'll be frank, I don't want to see the logs from your connected refrigerator, right?
Yeah, I mean, who cares, right?
I don't need your environmental systems logging into the SIM system. It doesn't matter to us. Like, so I think that's always the hardest, I think, part to convey to customers, and especially customers that come from a long line of SIM engineers, right? Like guys that have been in that space, and they think of log and they want to log everything.
Everything.
And for us, I just want to log what feeds those MDR outcomes. That's it.
I love that, because when I would talk to partners and stuff about that stuff, even some customers, right, when I do get a chance to talk to them, I'm like, look, let us go through those log sources, those security log sources with you. That's the important stuff, right? Because some logs, they're text files, a lot of that stuff, and some of them have nothing in there that you can use for threat hunting. There's garbage in there. So, and that's what I talk about with your team and stuff. Like, look, our team will go through those logs with you. It's the longest service that we have. It's a little bit more time consuming onboarding, because we sit with you and the customer and say, look, let's go through this with you. Let's show you what this is going to do for you, so we can tie it to our runbooks if we can and take action for you. Can we log your firewall data? Yeah, but you're going to know if your firewall has a problem before we do, right? So that log or that alert can go to you, right? It doesn't have to go to our SOC, right? So I think when customers like, oh, I want to log everything, and that's overwhelming. And I know that's, what you were saying, like, hey, give us everything and let's see what we got to go through. And that's a lot of work. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and it's very little return, right?
Right.
So that's the problem. Right. Like, it's one thing if we were going to get good return on that investment and bring all that data in, but firewall traffic logs, very little return. They can be valuable in a threat hunt.
Right.
Right.
But that's it. But in a threat hunt, in that time when you need to see something. So I think where the unlimited log comes into play, and we're giving them those sources, like with our new stuff that we're rolling out, and maybe even in the future, just moving to that unlimited log. I think for threat hunting purposes, beautiful. Yeah. I like that, because here's your sources that we're going to look at. You pick what you have in this list, which our list is huge. It's not like it's a small little list. So here you go. And then if you need compliance, it doesn't need to go to the SOC. We can still log that for you, but that's a whole different ball.
You can search it, play with it all you want. It's over there, right? But no, absolutely. Yeah. Totally agree.
So you have a good feeling about the log stuff, unlimited log.
I do. I think I would say the only problem I have with it is really the name, because nothing's really unlimited.
That's true.
Right? I mean, it's like your unlimited cell phone plan, right? Like, it's unlimited until you use this.
Until you go over that cap.
Throttle you. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, Verizon throttles the shit out of your phone, and I'm like, what's with my service?
Right.
Yes.
100%. But for what the customers are going to use it for, I think they'll find value in it, especially if they fit into those areas. I mean, they fit into those packages is going to be valuable for them, and the ease of not dealing with all the other component compartmentalization of it, right? Like, that's going to be really nice.
I think the benefit here as well, though, is now this forces us into a different style of conversation. We're not just talking about log. We're not just talking about EDR. Right. We're not just talking about network visibility of what's going on, or vulnerability visibility, or identity visibility. We're talking about all of these things, and that has always been our approach, because that's always been that part of the puzzle. Is logs a component of the telemetry that I need to understand, and this is going to tune us to make that a lot more accurate. I know, Ryan, from the past, you used to bring everything in just to make sure that the list you've been given was the right list, and you tune that list and go, right, actually, no, we're going to adjust it slightly. This is the way you are operating, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. We're going to focus on these pieces because those are the things that are important. Those are the gaps that we're not getting anywhere else. Our approach now is going to be, well, this is just one aspect of the telemetry that we've got to make sure we've got good coverage on. These are the bits we can't cover with those other tools. And we will need to make sure that we've got a complete view, full fidelity on that environment. And for me, it's what we were always aiming at when trying to build that solution, is we had to fill as many gaps as we possibly could.
So how do you feel about, I know with Sumo and with Microsoft, it's gigabytes of ingestion a day. How do you feel about doing now? It's per endpoint, or per, or per user, whatever it would be per endpoint. So I'm thinking that's a lot. Is it easier to deal with, or is it?
I think for us, though, I think there's still a number attached to the backside of that, right? Like, and I think it helps that we've had such a broad customer base in Sumo and now Sentinel that we can pull those statistics and say, well, 80-90% of the time when you have this many endpoints in your environment, this is how much data you send, right? And obviously there's going to be outliers, but it makes it easy for us to say, this is where you're going to land. Because at the end of the day, we still have to, pay our vendors for whatever their metric is that is tracking it, right? So, but it for us, I think it's going to be a little easier, and for all the reasons you said, right? Like,
I like the new. I like that we don't. And this is my perspective of it. It's like, especially telling the partners, we don't have to scope anymore. Here's the list. You check off what you have. And that way for them, they're like, okay, perfect. This is what I've got because I'm allowed 5 sources or I'm allowed 10 sources or 20, depending on whatever bundle we're doing or things like that. But that should be easy then, right? Do we still have to go through any kind of scoping then after that? I mean, you guys probably have stuff on the back end, no? Or is it just...
Yeah, I think it is going to be a lot easier for you guys. I mean, and it's because you can just show them, these are the sources that you need to have, and you tell us what you got. And then and then you pass that to us, and from there we can, say, oh, they've got this many firewalls, they've got this many, Windows devices, blah blah blah, and we can set that up, right?
And that's it.
Yeah, and that's it, right?
That's
and then
nice.
And then as we go through it, then we start to learn. Well, okay, those firewalls, they send a lot of traffic data. So we'll split the traffic data off and set it into, one of those back end buckets that is still searchable for threat hunting.
Right.
But, it's not going to cost, or it's not going to set at the cost that we're worried about. Right. No detections running against that data. So it doesn't really matter. Right.
Right.
So
right. So
if that move, sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. If that moving around of that data, that shifting of that data into perhaps cheaper tiers, allows you a better opportunity to focus on where the risk priority is for the customer, or us and the customer together.
It absolutely does. Yeah, I think so. And the benefit, operationally, to not have to search across that huge swath of data when you're looking for stuff, right? It makes it easier in both regards because, we can tailor our searches so that, we're looking in very specific buckets. This one I'm threat hunting over here. This one I'm going to look here. The detections are running out of the standard bucket, and, threat hunts are running out of this one. And we're kind of bringing it all together on the back end, right? So it'll be transparent to the customer. They're not going to see or care to see where that's at. They'll just know that it's not costing me nearly as much as it could. Yeah, if we're going to go the other way. So.
Yeah, because logs are expensive. It's not a cheap service for any organization to have the gigabytes of ingestion. There's a lot of log data. It's a lot of stuff to go through. With the unlimited log stuff, and we're telling the customers the sources now, they still get the runbooks are tied to those that are there, correct?
Absolutely.
Yep. So that's awesome. I mean, nobody does that. I think that's a unique service that we offer. I think it makes the difference for our services. So is it a pain in the ass to build a runbook for a log?
I mean, I wouldn't say it depends, right?
Yeah. Right. There you go. See?
That's a tough. And Derek's going to chime in on that question too, I imagine, if you have him on. But
especially after the questions I've been asking today.
Yeah. I think he's probably got a different perspective than I do. But I think that it can be time consuming to build it. The nice thing is that we're building it, and then we're able to apply that across the customer base. So if one customer comes in and said, and we're like, wow, this situation, this new CVE, whatever it is in this one customer, we need to build a detection for that. We do that, and then we say, okay, let's just apply that across the customer base, and then all those customers get that benefit.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. Which I think is it's absolutely differentiator. And the people that do that work on that tactical threat, TRU, the threat intelligence teams. I mean, those guys are some of the best people I've worked with in this industry. You know what I mean? Like they're just very solid. They know what they're talking about. Can do.
So they build the runbooks?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they build the detections. So like they build the detections sumo or
Right.
701 or, any of those systems that we
Any
have
ones
access.
that need that. Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. Wow.
I think, sorry, there's something else to mention there
Yeah.
that's quite important as well. And it's something we both John and myself bring up on a regular basis, is also the fact that those runbooks are curated.
Yeah.
So there's a quality assurance process that also wraps those runbooks to make sure they're current, fit for purpose, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and absolutely. And the process is pretty rigorous because
right.
I've built a few. We have to go through a very specific process. It's peer reviewed by the other guys on the team, and then it gets approved, and then it has to get approved by SOC. So there's quite a few hurdles to get over.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that makes it. Yeah, that's unique. I mean, that's important. You're not just throwing something out there. Here you go. I mean, try it, see what happens.
Anybody can download a list of Sigma rules from the web, right, and dump them in, and then you're getting 500,000 alerts every couple hours, and what value is that, right?
How many runbooks would you say do we do each month? I mean, do we add new runbooks all the time, or is there like a certain
add or and I used to know these metrics a little better, but I think add or update runbooks is at about one a day.
Oh wow!
So we're adding or we're fixing, updating, making better, improving at least one a day on average.
That's awesome. That's awesome to know. I didn't realize.
John, then
much.
let's add some detail. As of today's date, 14th of March.
Here we go.
The Sumo Logic listing for current active runbooks is sat at a total of 576.
Holy shit! Is it really that high? 576.
Hang on, let me double check that.
Wow!
576.
Wow, that's incredible.
576.
Wow.
Yeah. And you got to think about awesome. Both components of that, right? Because there's the detection, and then there's the piece that is actually a guide for the SOC to step through.
To step going. They need to do.
Yes, step by step for the analyst. So junior analysts can grab that investigation and work through it, start to finish. They know exactly what to do, where to put information, how to react to it. Yeah, I mean, those guys do a great job.
Yeah, it's not just a little runbook that says here, click, 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 and you're done. This is something they build. It's a program within a program to do certain. I mean, that's awesome. That's incredible that we do that stuff.
And for entertainment value, it's 400 on the Sentinel.
Microsoft, we started obviously with Sumo first, and isn't Sentinel's a different format? So all those
it is a different format.
That's a job in itself.
Different stack of connectors. This is a very different Lego challenge, right?
Let me ask you this then: with our unlimited log or our own log, Atlas log that we're coming out with, what are those runbooks going to automatically work because of the way we're building it, or do we have to go through that process of converting those logs again?
They're already working through it, so they're already working on. And it will be a slightly different format. So it is going to be a little bit of a effort to kind of port them over as we build sources. So as engineering builds the source piece of it, so what we collect from and what we want to bring into the new Atlas log, TTRs then on the side. Yep, updating the runbooks for that source, right?
Oh, so that's nice. So they're already going to be there. So now. With our new log, and then we'll stop talking kind of worky stuff. But with our new Atlas log, are there going to be like connectors like Sumo has, and Mike? So there's going to be connectors to connect to everything we can. So we'll have more information from the log. Not just
and it's actually we've seen some of the early stuff that we're going to start beta pretty soon, and it's pretty slick. Like I'm not going to lie, engineering has knocked it out of the park in terms of the interface and what it looks like. Now, you go into the Insight portal, and you can onboard sources right there, right? So you want to add Office 365, click a button, add in the right information, you're done.
That's awesome. I like that the agent is in there. I like that we're moving the SOC dash there. Customers are going to be able to see everything. So when I get, for us, sometimes it's hard when we go against our competitors because everybody says that we do the same thing as everybody else, right? So our job is a little bit more difficult now. It's where Everybody says they do MDR. They have a platform. We have to show why we're different. And now that we're giving folks the visibility, be like, look, here's where everything lives. Here's what the SOC is doing. Here's what, creating those log sources. Here's where you can install the agent. You're going to be able to do everything there. And I think with the gateway coming out too in the future is going to be a game changer. And I think it's just giving them that visibility. So when they can see what they're paying for. This is, we always got to compare apples to apples. Like Arctic Wolf says, oh, they do all these great shit, but it's nowhere near what we do. Here's everything right here. This is why you're getting the teams and you're doing this stuff. And maybe we're going to be a little bit more than Arctic Wolf, but I think these packages are going to truly help with that. This is what you're getting. You're getting the people here that are doing all that stuff.
It's the people that make the difference. The fact that you've been here 10 years, Ryan,
yes,
is testament to, you feel comfortable here.
Oh yeah.
You're doing something of substance here. There is benefit to you individually doing what you do here. It changes things significantly. When we talk about our SOC staff, the average experience in that space is 6 years. These aren't guys who are running 12-hour shifts, who are on short-term contracts or 0-hour contracts. It's not the same thing. If we, to John's point, let's compare apples to apples. Let's really compare apples to apples. This is not the same thing. You talked about the process of QA'ing a runbook and all the people that are involved in that process. And that's happening at the rate of at least one a day.
That's incredible.
That's a lot of people involved just to curate the run books that are in that list.
And it's not just for one customer. You're talking to every customer gets those run books. I sign up for that service. Guess what? I just have those 576 run books in my environment. No matter what I'm throwing up in there, I have a run book for it. I mean, that's incredible.
And if that customer goes out and buys, if they were Palo Alto before and they go out and buy Fortinet in a month and they bring Fortinet logs in, those are already there. They're going to
covered. Yeah, it's ready. It's ready to go.
Yep.
So let me ask you this: since log stuff is so much fun, what do you do after work to forget about all this crazy stuff? What do you do on your off time to say, I got to let go of this shit because it's killing me. I need to unwind.
I think there's a clue in the background, Ryan.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's there. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. I do play golf in the summer. I play with my dad.
Nice.
My dad and I have played together on a league for, I don't know, 12 years now, and he played with his dad on that league. So.
Cool.
So it's a pretty cool thing, but I mean, I have two kids also, one that graduates this year and one that is a freshman in high school, who plays lacrosse and does powerlifting. So he's, and now I have to take up powerlifting because I'm not going to let that little,
No, you can't. You got
can't let him mess me. Right?
Yeah, no. You got to do that. That's awesome.
We're coming back to this.
And he's got a book for everything. He's that's awesome.
Yeah. So good lacrosse season starts, so I'll be doing that a lot. I'll be going to lacrosse games. He made the lacrosse team in high school now, so that's cool.
Dude, lacrosse is brutal. I got to tell you, my and Heather probably told you too, right? So our kids are big baseball folks, and baseball and lacrosse are in the same season. And I've watched some of those lacrosse practices, dude. They're killing you with that little ball. I mean, that shit hurts. Who fucking whipping it at you? Who the hell wants to get hit with those little balls? They hurt. You get hit. You better catch that thing.
It's like a little hard rubber. Yeah, that thing does not feel good. My kid comes home with bruises on every part of his body during lacrosse season.
And they're wearing shorts, no really pads.
Not really.
I mean, they do have face gear, but I mean, still, you get hit with that ball, dude. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, no, they come pretty. It flies pretty fast.
Yeah,
so
that's a crazy sport. That's a pretty rough sport. That's we were watching one of the practices one time. There was a game going on. We were watching a baseball game later in the afternoon, and they had practice, and they were hitting each other with the sticks. They were like whacking each other. I'm like, this is that's worse than football.
Well, yeah, it's worse than hockey, I think. They don't allow you to smack each other with the stick in hockey, but they do with lacrosse.
Yeah, they were hit. Dude, it's crazy. What a crazy sport.
It is.
But that's cool. So what else? What else do you like to do?
I mean, back in the not anymore, but like I back in the day when I was at the college, and then for some years here, I started a information security conference in Detroit. So
cool.
So we ran that for 10 years, 8 years, 8 years.
Nice. That's
something
awesome.
like that. It was good. Yeah, 10 years. Security BSides Detroit. So I don't know if you've ever been if you're in the industry, you probably heard of Security BSides. It kind of sprung out of the side of DEF CON for a while. So at the time, being a lowly university employee, I didn't have any money to go to DEF CON every year like a lot of my friends were doing. So it started off kind of that way. I wanted to go to a security conference. I couldn't get the college to pay for it yet. So we started one. It was a guy I met lived in Ann Arbor, and we ran the conference for a couple years together. He left, and then I ran it for another 5 years. Out of that sprung the Michigan Security Group, mysec.org. So that came about out of the security conference. So it started off on like EFF chat type stuff, God, I can't remember. It's been so long. It's merged into Slack and Discord now. So
right.
So like there's awesome. A security group that we would go to. I mean, that's where I met Derek Thomas. Was at that, and that's kind of what started this whole eSentire thing for me. But I mean, that was really it. Kids keep you busy.
That's for sure.
So what drove you, Ryan, to sort of set that group up and sort of build that sort of community out? What was it about that pressed buttons?
Well, I think watching from afar when friends of mine, people I had known in the industry, people I followed on Twitter at the time in information security, go to these things and have a good time and learn and kind of commiserate. It was something that I hadn't experienced. Right. So I got to talking with some friends and well, we don't have anything like that in the Detroit area. And we just decided to do it. We started putting it together. The first year we had it was in a abandoned warehouse in downtown Detroit. So it was pretty rough, but but we lost the place we were going to hold it at kind of canceled on us like a week before the event. So we kind of had to scramble, put it together. I mean, we projected things on a sheet that first year. I mean, it was pretty back alley. kind of ghetto, but it was fun, and everything just kind of sprung out from there. Like we decided at that event that we needed a monthly meetup so that we could do this thing where we share ideas and kind of get together. And the MySec group started out of that. It's now MySec has grown into locations all across Michigan. So there's a location in the UP in Marquette.
Wow.
There's one
awesome.
in Grand Rapids, in Lansing. So all over the state here in Michigan, they hold these meetings. And they all came from that one Security BSides Detroit event that started in 2011.
Now, do you live in Michigan?
Yeah. I'm north of Detroit.
No shit.
About an hour or so. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So when I go into the office in Canada, I drive about 3 hours.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you can drive up to the office. That's nice. Okay.
It's not bad. Oh. That's a good drive.
Oh, that's cool.
Unless it's the winter and.
Yep. Oh, the winter. Sorry.
Canada in the winter. No thanks.
No, it's not fun at all. It's brutal. We went up there I think it was last 2 years ago or something? It was in February, end of February. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Snowing and shit. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Who wants to do this? It's like an emergency condition.
And that was a light winter for them as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This last winter has been brutal. Like snow and ugh.
Yeah, that's not fun. Wow. Huh. That's awesome. So yeah, the kids driving, everybody's driving. It's not fun.
No,
it's not fun with the driving. You got to worry about
set of worries, right? Like,
yep.
You're
it's
the car.
Just like,
yeah,
wow.
Right. Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah.
And you don't know how you got here either, right? Because like just feels like just yesterday you were taking those kids to elementary school.
I know it does go by so fast. We were just talking to Mike Reeder, and he has young kids, and Andy mentioned him. He says, don't blink.
Yeah.
Because man, I got to tell you, it's going to be like, boom, they're
I remember holding them in my hand.
Yeah.
I remember when my eldest arrived and Mum was shattered. I mean, it was hard work, frankly, for her. And I remember walking around the hospital for almost 48 hours with her over my shoulder. And she was big enough to hold in your hand. And, 2-hour lap, come in, feed, 2-hour lap, come in, feed for 48 hours. And
there you go.
All of a sudden, she's a young woman. She's driving all over the place, doing her thing, and she's coming to the end of her degree course. And I'm like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
When I've got two, the 13 months between them. The eldest took a year out and then started uni. So they're aligning now on their third year, completing their third years. And I'm like, what the hell happened? They're taller than we are.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the?
Now you have two girls though, Andy. So what, you have a boy and a girl, Ryan, or is it
two boys?
Two boys. See, you're lucky. The girls, man, they're tough, bro. The girls
they're all intelligent kids are tough, full stop, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sex they are.
Yeah. No, everybody says that, right? Like,
girls
you have
tough.
girls, I'm glad. I have some friends that are like, I'm glad I didn't have boys. And then I have friends that are like, I'm glad I didn't have girls. I, can't really speak to the girls, but the boys definitely give us a run, right?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they do. I'm sure. So what you got? There's 17 and how old? And you said 14?
15.
15, right.
So he just got his driving permit, right?
Oh.
So now I got two that are, driving.
Two of them. Oh, man, brutal. Shit.
But the oldest one, we talked him into he's driving a manual, so
right.
Nice, good.
Wow.
Got to keep that dying art alive. I drove a manual when I was young too.
I didn't even know. Do they even make those kind of cars anymore?
Special request, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny they say that because Heather and I, we went to Florida for a weekend not too long ago. We took the boys to see the Yankees in spring training. So we flew down to my Tampa, and we rented a car. And I didn't pay attention when I rented the car. So I rented a fucking electric car. I'm like, I don't know nothing about where do I go to charge this fucking thing now? Are you kidding me?
Were you lucky and got two pedals, or were you unlucky and got one?
Right? No. Oh God.
No, there was two pedals. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Some of them only have one.
Seriously? No, this had two pedals. I didn't realize it was an electric car, and I'm driving and I'm looking, I'm like, first of all, let me see where the gas is, because I remember filling out the thing. You're going to fill it up with gas? Yeah, I'll fill it up when I bring it back. I'm like, hon, I think this is an electric car. There's no gas thing. There's nothing. Fuck, I don't even know where. And we got out of the car, and I'm looking around. I'm like, where the hell do you plug it into a charge it? It was in the front. I didn't know. In the front, you pull down the fucking license plate, and you plug it in. I'm like, now we got to find a place to charge it.
Yeah.
And how much is that?
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for this. So we didn't charge it. We just, thank God we had enough juice to get it around, just drive around a little bit. And then we drove back to the airport. It was only for a night, really, a day and a half. So I was like, oh, what a pain in the ass.
God, you're lucky you managed to get that within the range.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Charger for an hour for 2
hours. I'd rather have internal combustion engine, because at least I know I can find a petrol station and I can fill that thing up, and I know how to do that.
Right. Then Heather's on the phone looking. There's one like 15 miles away. We can go there. Then I looked up, how long does it take to charge? They want you to run them overnight to charge the whole thing, charge the whole battery. I'm like,
yeah, I know some of them are pretty rough. Like some of them are pretty quick. Like some of them you can get to a full charge in like 18 minutes or something. But
really? Oh, I didn't know. I was looking it up on this car. I was like, it's in a couple hours or get a little bit. I'm like,
you have to get to those superchargers, and they're few and far between.
That's the key, right? Yeah. You got to find the right place. You can't just plug it into the wall.
Electric cars are not for me.
It's a 2-hour, 2-day thing.
Yeah, not for me. I mean, it was, I guess it was cool, but I mean,
We had an old CISO, one of the old companies I worked for, and he would plan he was based out of Belgium, and he would plan trips across Europe regularly. He'd regularly go away for a long weekend and take the electric car and plan the routes out. So, all right, lunch break, dinner break, hotel, charge at the hotel, then carry on. And each of the stops was a charge point on the supercharger network, and he'd go all over Europe.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I guess they say you go 400 miles on a whole full charge like that. I mean, same as a gas tank, I guess, but at least with the gas, I can fucking just plug it in and fill it up in like 2 seconds and I'm done.
There's more gas stations than there is charge points.
Thank you. I agree.
I think it just depends. I probably like anything, right? It depends on your use case. Because if you live so if you only drive around town and you always come back and you can charge it at home,
yep,
never
then it makes
to
sense.
The gas station does hold some appeal for me, right?
Yep,
Can I never go to the gas station again? That might be okay, but
there's no oil changes.
No oil changes.
No oil changes. You don't have to go to the gas station.
Yeah,
I get it. But how much does it cost you to hook up that electric to your house? That's not cheap.
I have a buddy that did it. I think he said he paid $600 to have it hooked up to the house, and then it costs him maybe a quarter of what it costs to fill up at a gas station for a month.
$600. That was it. I heard it was like $5,000 to hook up to your house.
I guess it depends. It probably depends on where you're at in the contractor you're talking about.
Well, that could be, yeah. I was going to say, and New Jersey, everything's expensive here. Are you kidding me? There you go, right? So forget it. I can't afford to live here as it is. When I retire, I don't think I can retire here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of having 3-phase at home just to charge the bloody car.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst?
If you lose electricity, though, how do you charge your car now?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess how are you going to pump gas, I guess, too, right? Because there are electric pumps and stuff, right? Yeah. Or whatever. But still, I don't know.
Yeah, there's absolutely a lot of questions there. I think for long power outages, you might be in trouble.
Right. Yeah, I mean, think about this. If there's a zombie apocalypse, right, and you need to get around and you're in a car, you want to have a gas car because you can get yourself a gas
generator. This is where my old truck came into play. Because you could urinate in that tank and it would still run.
Come on.
You used to do 19 miles to the gallon, whether you drove it like Ayrton Senna or a nun or anywhere in between. It would just do 19 to the gallon. You could put anything in that tank, it would run.
I saw a show where they were using like vegetable oil and different oils. They can actually run cars. I don't know why we never did shit like that.
We were testing. We were part of, again, these forums for everything. I ran an old Toyota Hilux variant.
Oh, nice.
2.4 litre turbo diesel engine with a preheat on the diesel fuel. And that was designed to run any fuel. Any fuel. So at the time, it was very popular to use old used cooking oil. What we experimented with is the proportion of ethanol to diesel or oil to make a diesel-like fuel. And we were, with the preheat, I think, what did we get to? 98% cooking oil, 2% ethanol, and no change in performance, no change in coking in the engine. The engine would just behave as normal. It would smell like a chip shop, but it would run quite happily with no issues. And it was very interesting because test it, prove it. Does that work like that? Does it not work like that? Do we go to 3%? Do we go to 1.5%? Do we go to 1%? Very, very interesting.
Yeah, that is cool. Huh?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Pretty neat.
So let me ask you this. Talking about your background and then moving here to eSentire doing this stuff. If you had a time machine.
Yeah.
And you were able to go back 10, 15 years, right? What would you tell your younger self? Would you change anything or would you do everything exactly the way it is?
Ooh, man,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, no. I don't know that I would. Like if we're going back, I would probably tell myself to take, I would absolutely go back and be like, when your buddy tells you to buy that Bitcoin,
I said the same thing yesterday.
Buy that damn Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yes, buy it.
Yeah. Or,
Yep.
invest in Apple back in those days.
Yes.
Right? Like, please,
Yeah,
do something. I had a buddy that was like, yeah, I'm going to start mining this Bitcoin. And I'm just like, yeah, it sounds cool. Maybe I'll check that out. Never did.
Right now, he's probably a billionaire and shit.
I mean, he definitely does pretty well.
Yeah. Right.
God, man, really missed the boat on that one. I mean, it's in terms of like getting here and I don't think I would have changed anything from leaving the university and kind of, doing stuff that here. Yeah. I probably would have tried to push forward with some of the with the conference after we decided to kind of pack up shop, because I think it would have been, valuable for me and everybody else. But it's in good hands now. Like there's a group that runs it, and they're friends of mine. So that's good. I don't know that there would have been much.
It's the same thing everybody says. There's a few people who said the same thing you did, Apple, and I would have did Bitcoin. But other than that, I would have not changed a single thing. And I agree. It's just because I think we all got here for a certain reason. I think we're all here because of the people, like you said before. And why change it? It's an amazing thing that we've got going here. It really is.
Well, all of those experiences have got us to this point, right?
Yeah. Right. I was going to say, all those things led us to this particular spot.
Exactly.
And how can I feel like I want to change anything, that has gotten me to where I am now, and I enjoy what I do, enjoy the people I work with most of all. I don't think
it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like, I love going to work today. I like what challenges I might find this day. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like anything, I feel like there's frustrations with stuff.
Sure.
But I've never really felt like I need to, like, I got to get out of here. I've never, never felt that way.
Right.
Like I've had days where I'm like, I can't deal with this person, but I mean, who hasn't had those days, right?
Exactly.
I think we all know who we're talking about here.
Right. Well, I'm sure my wife says that about me, because I'm sure she's like, "Oh, I can't deal with him right now."
Yeah, she does. She does.
John. Today. Stop! They're killing me.
She does.
But
your wife's a gem. I like working with her.
Yeah, she's a blast. She's actually makes me better. I honestly feel, and she's smart and fun. So she's. It's funny because we work together. And we don't really see each other that much during the day. I mean, she's on her side in her office thing. I'm over here. And sometimes we'll have lunch together. And sometimes I won't see her till, it's like 4, 5, 6 o'clock or something. She's back.
Here, man.
What's going on?
I've been working out of the house since I came here. The entire, 10 years ago. And she's back to work now. But at the time she was staying home with the kids. But people are like, how do you do that? How are you guys in the same house all the time?
Yeah,
it doesn't. I mean, we don't see we do see each other when I'm running upstairs to grab something.
Yeah, doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, it's not like, I think we enjoy each other's company too. So that helps, but we don't hate each other.
Right. I think my wife, I push her buttons, I'm sure, but I think we do enjoy each other's other company. And honestly, I love that we work together.
Yeah.
I love it because we can talk about certain things. She understands stuff, or I can help her with certain things once in a while, or I ask her questions on stuff all the time about like CSM stuff, or is it right to say this, or do you have a template that shows what those reports you build? Oh yeah, let me show you. I mean, it's cool, but it's cool to be on the same schedule too, which is nice with the kids and stuff. So
how long have you worked here, John? How long have you been here?
I've been here 6 years. When I started Network and Carbon Black, that was it. There was no log yet.
Yeah.
It was like, I remember they brought the log.
Log Sentry, right?
Log Sentry was here. Yes. And I'm like, okay. I never even got to play with that. I've never even seen it.
You weren't missing much.
No. That's what they say. Yeah. Log Sentry.
That was the original. That was the OG. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. When I mean log, I mean Sumo was Sumo and then Microsoft eventually, which was cool. And now where we're going, I mean, all our own IP and I think the gateway is going to be amazing. I'm psyched to see that. I saw a demo. We saw a demo that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm like, this is going to be a game
It's
changer.
gonna be nice. Some of the other stuff they're doing too, like investigation workbench and
how cool is that?
I mean, to me, that's the single thing that is going to make the most difference for customers.
Absolutely.
Like
100%.
Showing the customers all the stuff we do, not just here's what we're telling you the alerts are or whatever.
Yep.
And here's the things we blocked. Like being able to say, yeah, we investigated this. The analyst did this, and this. And they came to the conclusion that this is not a real threat. And here's how we came to that.
Yeah. Here's how, And to show those threat cases, I think is cool, right? Right now, that's awesome to see that stuff. But you know what? Now we're taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
And when we show customers that, they're going to be like, holy cow,
That's what we've been missing. Showing our work.
Yes. And there's so much we do. We have to show our work.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're actually silly not to do that.
Absolutely.
Not to show everybody, because there's so much people are getting that it's going to be a game changer just showing them. Look, you know what? Maybe we're, I don't know, $10,000 more than Arctic Wolf, but look what we're getting. Look at all the stuff you're having. They don't do this. They're not doing this for you.
And you get a world-class threat intelligence team, threat response team. I mean, like some of the incident response people in the SOC.
Oh my God,
amazing.
Dude. Incredible. We've talked to some of them and boy, I got to tell you, it's amazing what they do. And I'm like, it does. It takes a special individual to be a SOC analyst, to work on the true team and do those things. And, and I can't do it. But we were talking about it today, Andy. They see that needle in the haystack.
Well, this is the thing. It's, if we do our job properly, you never hear from us. And to your point, Ryan, we need to show what we're doing. The customer needs to understand exactly how much people are actually involved in this process. We've had Alexander Fake on and talking to him. We've talked to Andy Fawcett. We've talked to some of the IR teams or the incident handling teams internally, and people, our audience, our customers, really don't get visibility of that. And I think this, as you say, it's absolutely important that they understand that, because this is a significant effort.
Yeah.
It's and Alex said it too. It was like, as soon as something happens, you have 150 people right there working for you. It's not just one.
Yeah, I mean, if you could snapshot and show like, okay, we're investigating this because how many people are in that channel
are involved?
Like I'm pulled in. Derek, we're both directors. We're getting pulled into these things to investigate.
Right. And you're doing log stuff.
Yeah.
He's doing other. You have nothing to do with that CrowdStrike alert. What does it have to do with me? But there's so much going on.
So many
that people don't realize it.
Show them. I mean, people would. You're right. I don't think they don't see what goes into some of this stuff.
No.
And so they're like, well, I haven't heard from you in a while. Well, in the last month we investigated 75 different things and none of them were legit, but here's the trail that shows that we investigated them and what we did. But that's going to be a game changer.
You're right. The investigation workbench and stuff is going to show so much stuff. I'm excited for that. I can't wait. I hope when we go down in Orlando at the end of this month, I hope that we get a demo of that, and I hope we get access to it.
I hope
because with the Initech stuff, right? It's just demo data for us, but we want to show them. I want to show partners this stuff. Here's what your customers are going to see. Here's what you guys are going to see. And they're going to be like, nobody shows them things. Like, we've been doing these, and it started with Vince. And I thought he was nuts when he first wanted to do it, when Vince was here, Mr. Gotti. He's like, let's do a roadmap call with the TSDs, or there were masters, call them master agents at the time. I'm like, okay, just like their roadmap, the stuff could change on the fly. But he's like, let's just do it and let them know all the things we're doing. We have gotten such amazing feedback from doing these. We're doing this now all the time. And people are like, you guys are innovating things. You guys are in bringing us along that journey. It's incredible. And all the things you guys are doing, nobody tells anybody this stuff. There's not another organization out there like we are that shows another partner or customer what we're doing. We're totally transparent. Here's all the shit we're doing. Look at all this cool stuff. Now it's roadmap. It can change, but look at all these things we're doing. Nobody shares that. They love those roadmap calls because it really sets the stage of, what you guys are doing and how much you care about what you're doing. Right.
I think that's an important piece of the puzzle as well. It's,
Sure.
it's not just numbers. It's not just ticking boxes. The fact is, understanding, Ryan, how you care about the scene piece, how you care about how that develops and progresses, how you care about that delivers functional value that the customers are going to realize. I think that, that's part of the puzzle. One of the reasons for this podcast is to show exactly how much people care about what it is they're actually doing here. And as you say, when those situations blow up, and I got involved in a couple very early on when I joined, within 10, 15 minutes, there's 80, 90, 100 people on the call and everyone's contributing. I'll take this bit away. Here's what I found. And it's backwards and forwards, and everyone is rolling their sleeves up and getting their hands dirty. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
But customers 100%. Don't see that. Historically, they haven't seen that. And it will happen. And to your point, John, all this stuff is when this is happening. Now is when all this stuff is coming out now. And customers are going to get an incredible experience now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, Ryan, I got one more question for you, my friend. So if it would be possible to have you come back on like 6 months, 9 months from now and say, okay, hey, these things are now rolling. Here's some new changes, new updates. So just to see where you're at, what's going on, how the kids are doing driving, what's happening, everything. If you would be able to come back on again, we would really love you to come back on and give us an update where you're at. And how
of course. Yeah, I'd love to. No, it's great.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to.
Yeah. So I mean, this has been awesome. I'm so glad we got you to be on this today. Chatting with us about all these things and being part of our podcast and letting people know, all the things you guys are doing. Cause it's, you guys sit in the background and there's so much to do. Like Andy and I have a great job. We tell your stories and there's so much we want to bring out because you guys are truly the teams, you guys and the SOC and the tree, everything you guys are doing. You guys are why we're here. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you for taking the time. I know there's a lot going on and you really, it was an honor having you here and really just jumping on with us, man. So I really do appreciate it, man.
Oh, I appreciate it too, man. Really, really appreciate what you guys do. You two specifically, I mean, have always been great to work with and solid. I mean, I appreciate.
We have fun.
Yeah,
we got to have a lot of fun.
That's the key, right? You got to have a good time. You got to enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you'd go mad. So.
No. Yep.
We're already mad. I mean, let's not beat around the bush there.
Listen, if we weren't, this shit probably wouldn't work.
Well,
so
that's probably
you got to be crazy. So Ryan, thank you again, my friend. Really appreciate everything you've done for us at eSentire and being on our podcast, our little tiny show here. So. Thank you, and we will love to have you on again, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Maybe I'll get my wife to come on. She doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to get on, but if I get her on here with you,
John, I've got to get Heather on. Come on.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man.
I'll send her a message on Slack.
Yeah. Say, hey, you got to do this. You got to do this. She won't do it though. She'll be mad. She's even hear me talking about it. She'll be like, "What? Don't bring up my name." She'll yell at me. So, all right.
All right, man.
Thank you very much, man. We really appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
You too, my friend.
All right, so this has been another episode of the Cyber Culture Cafe series, part of the Cyber Talks podcast presented by eSentire, the authority in managed detection and response. To learn how eSentire's next level MDR service can help you strengthen your security program and build cyber resilience, please visit eSentire.com. Ryan, absolute pleasure as always. Thank you very much for taking the time today to talk to us. We look forward to the next episode and having you back on in the fullness of time to listen to your latest developments and innovations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.